Alright lads, welcome back to Yorkshire Lad Talks Football. I'm just going to give you a quick explanation on to what my channel is going to be mainly about. It's going to be a football discussion channel where I discuss any hot topics that are in the Premier League, Champions League, internationals. But I'll be honest with you, the majority of content is going to be evolved around Chelsea. So I will talk about other topics if a needed topic comes up in the footballing world. I will talk about it. You can also leave comments giving me suggestions on what videos I could make. But as I've said, mainly it's going to be Chelsea content. But yeah, that's a quick rundown of what my channel is going to be about. And if you're new to the channel, please leave a like and can you subscribe? That's the most important thing. I'd be so grateful. Let's get on with the video. In this video, I'm going to discuss Thomas Tuchel, the new man in charge at Chelsea Football Club, and mainly about the press conference that took place today. It's his second day in England now, and he took his first press conference today since he arrived, and he made some great points. That, as a Chelsea fan, I look at and go, that's what we might need, yeah. We might need that. So yeah, I'm going to discuss a couple of his points and give you my thoughts and opinion on it. Before we start talking about the presser, I'd just like to discuss what I think about Thomas Tuchel's first impression since he's been here for the couple of days. I think he's been absolutely brilliant to watch. He's so charismatic, so energetic, and he reminds me a bit of Jose Mourinho or Antonio Kante when they were at Chelsea, and that's maybe the figure we need at the minute, that manager with absolute know-how in what he's doing. He's so charismatic, so energetic. He offers a great tactical insight into the game. I've just got a feeling he's going to work wonders with his squad, and he's going to bring the best out of this very, very talented squad, which has got so much potential. So I'm now going to discuss about the press conference and the key points as to what he said and I've picked out. The first one being, he's mentioned a couple of times now that he's aware of the winning DNA that's set in stone at Chelsea, especially since Abramovich took over. It is in the DNA at Chelsea now. We've won, I think we are the club with the most trophies since Abramovich took over in 2003, and Tuchel's very aware of this, as every manager that comes in is, that the results are needed, and you can see that when he's talking. He knows that the board are aware that results need to come in because performance is just not good enough. The results need to be there, as it showed with Frank. Frank was given this big project to try implement his style and set a young squad for many years, but it never works out at Chelsea. The results need to be there, and Tuchel's probably going to have to bring in results very quickly and get the team up and running and heading towards the Champions League spots, because then the pressure will start building. If not, you know what our board are like. They're lunatics when it comes to managers having a bad spell, and it's just like, get out the club. I hope you can give the squad an extra boost of confidence and give them a chance to gain momentum in the final push for the Premier League as we aim to get in the top 4. I know it's a long way off, but if Tuchel starts getting the results in that we need, I genuinely think this squad is capable enough to push for the Champions League spots. But as I've said, Tuchel appears very aware what he's got himself into at this club by saying he knows the DNA at Chelsea. He knows what the board know as well, and he knows what to expect from the board, and he knows that the results need to come with his performances and the squad's performances. So that's my first point. So yes, to sum up my first point, from what he said in the press conference, Tuchel knowing the DNA at Chelsea that's set in stone now, that we're a winning club, we've won lots of trophies over the last 20 years, and he needs to deliver. He needs to deliver, and he knows it himself, and it comes across very well. My second point is based around the youngsters at the club. Many would thought when Frank left that players like Mason Mount, Reece James, Tammy Abraham, the youngsters that Lampard actually implemented into the squad in that first season, and basically made them established first team players. My worry, and many Chelsea fans' worries, were that as soon as Tuchel would come in, these players would be disregarded by Tuchel and forgot about. But it appears not that, because Tuchel, one of his main things about his management, especially at PSG and Dortmund, is he gave the youth a chance. He brought in Christian Pulisic into the Dortmund first team when he first came onto the scene at 18 years old. It was Tuchel that brought him in, and he's made it clear in the press conference that he's not going to disregard these youngsters. He's given them every opportunity, and he wants to turn them into world beaters and increase the value of them. In my personal opinion, I believe he's got the coaching ability to turn Mason Mount, Reece James into world-class talents, and that's clearly his aim, and it's coming across in the press conference. My third point relates to this. It can be two in one, really, this point. It's about Mason Mount and how Thomas Tuchel has clearly watched Chelsea. He's clearly watched Chelsea and been a fan of the Premier League. He knows who Mason Mount is. He knows what he stands for, and he talks about how he puts 100% into every game. And you can see in his eyes, and you can see in the way he plays that he's 100% all in, all action, and he's 100% Chelsea. He wants to be Chelsea. He is Chelsea, and Tuchel's made a clear point of this, and he believes it's a great base for development. The energy and commitment Mount puts into his performances, and he thinks it's a great base to develop this player into something really special. So yeah, I'd love to see Mount continue the form that he's growing on. And with Tuchel's guidance, I believe he can become something really special, Mount. Something really, really special. The fourth point Thomas Tuchel made was about N'Golo Kante. I think this is the most important point. He was asked, where do you see N'Golo Kante's best position? And he replied, in a double pivot, in a number 6 role. And that's what every Chelsea fan wants to see. He's been playing in the single 6 role at the minute, just guarding the defence by himself. But Kante needs more freedom. He needs someone next to him who's going to be disciplined and protect the defence. Kante needs a bit of freedom to it because he's got so much energy. He's got so much ability on the ball as well. He's got so much pace, and he can dribble past players and create many spaces for other players. So Kante, that's what we want to hear off Tuchel. Like, Kante needs to be played in a double pivot with someone. It gives him the freedom to excel. And it's proved it. At Leicester, he was in a double pivot with Danny Drinkwater. They won the league. He got player of the season. He was absolutely brilliant. And then under Antonio Conte at Chelsea, Kante was alongside Nemanja Matic, and it proved to be, I think, the reason for us winning the title that season. Him, Costa and Hazard combined, but I think he was the most pivotal player in that season. So him being diverted back to the double pivot rather than a single, it gives him more freedom. I don't think Kante has the discipline to sit in at 6 by himself, because he likes to wander off, he likes to dribble, he likes a bit more freedom and to express himself in the midfield. So yeah, bringing Kante back into a double pivot, I think that could be pivotal for Chelsea's season going forward and for the future of Chelsea, because that's where we're at our best, where Kante is playing alongside someone in midfield. It gives us that extra protection and extra freedom. Yeah, so to summarise that point, Tuchel clearly wants Kante in a double pivot, and I think it's brilliant for Chelsea going forward and to give us any chance of getting in the Champions League, to be honest. The fifth and final point, it's not really a point. It's something that made me really, really smile. Tuchel revealed that Lampard sent him a text this morning wishing him luck for the future, and I feel it's just brilliant because Lampard must be feeling so dejected right now. Lack of confidence, everything you would after being sacked as a manager. So yeah, I just think it's brilliant. Super Frankie Lampard, our greatest ever player, messaging our new manager, Thomas Tuchel, wishing him all the best of luck. What more would you want as a Chelsea fan? So now I've wrapped up all the key points of today's press conference. I'd like to finish off by saying, please hit a like, subscribe to me, join the journey, and up the Chelsea.